Zhaoyi, you wanna play some chess?
Sure. Dad, I haven't played chess in forever.
It's so nice out today. I've been wanting to do this for the longest time.
Mom, you should have said so sooner.
Yeah.
You're so busy all the time. I barely even see you on weekends either. You're busier than me.
You're out all the time. What are you doing every weekend?
Are you going to church? It's for your own good that I don't let you believe in Almighty God. I often say, the only beliefs allowed under communism are from Marx, Lenin, and Mao Zedong. God is out of the question. The CCP suppresses the Church of Almighty God. But you think these are all trumped-up charges. Let me ask you. Explain the May 28 Zhaoyuan case in Shandong. That case was in open court, after all. After the Zhaoyuan case, the government cracked down more on house churches and used armed police to crack down on the Church of Almighty God, conducting an overwhelming search and arrest of the Church of Almighty God members. Even though people have raised doubts about the case in Shandong, believing it was false, fabricated to make the public support its crackdown on the Church of Almighty God. The Chinese media reported the case. Whether the facts were true or not, it impacted other countries around the world. No matter how you deny the Zhaoyuan case, many still trust the Communist Party. So then, regarding the case of what happened in Shandong, what do you think?
Dad, how long can the CCP fool the world with this case? It concocted itself. Can it save them from their impending demise? The Zhaoyuan case had considerable impact all over the world. It deceived ignorant people. But do clouds block the sun forever? Can a crow darken the sky forever? Deceptions are not forever. Lies are always lies. They will never become the truth. The CCP has grown increasingly evil, notorious and corrupt for their deceit and fraud. They're infamous, not just here, but everywhere. Can fraud and deceit save the CCP? More and more people see the real essence of the CCP. No one believes them anymore. The CCP is a notorious atheist party and satanic evil group most resistant to God in the world. The CCP's courts are Satan's courts. Can there be any fairness adjudicated by these courts? The CCP is a dictatorship and tyranny. There's no independent judiciary. Judges have no autonomy. They all take orders from the government. Handling cases how they're told, that's a fact. Cases tried by their courts are bound to be a distortion of the facts and all absurd. During these political struggles for so many years, the CCP has relied on framing. They're adept at this. When the Zhaoyuan case of Shandong was tried in court, the defendants clearly said, in the middle of CCP court, "I never had contact with the Church of Almighty God. The state cracks down on the Almighty God that Zhao Weishen believes in, not our Almighty God." They never said they belonged to the Church of Almighty God, and the Church did not know who they were. Why didn't the CCP judge go by the facts? In the absence of any real evidence, why did he insist they were members of the Church of Almighty God? Isn't this plot a frame-up? Isn't this all deception? No one believes the reports of the CCP or their media's lies anymore.
Yeah.
Dad, you've worked in the communist system for many years. You should see better than I do. Do you really think the Zhaoyuan case will help the CCP stay in power?
Dad, having been a reporter for a few years now, I understand. Every time before they suppress religion, democratic rights movements, protests or things like that, The CCP makes a false case and tries to sway public opinions wrongly, followed by a crackdown. Look at the June 4th student movement. At first they wanted integrity, democracy, and freedom. However, the CCP had people infiltrate disguised as students who ruined the movement, smashing, burning, flipping vehicles, making chaos. They branded the student movement as counter-revolutionary, intent on starting riots as an excuse to suppress the students. A bloody crackdown on the students happened after that. A few thousand students were shot and killed, run over by tanks. That's how the CCP staged the Tiananmen incident that chilled the Chinese people and shocked the whole world. That's also how they suppressed the mass protests in Tibet. The government inserted people into the protesting crowd, purposely committing crimes like killing and looting. The army massacred the protesters under the guise of quelling insurrection. These facts prove that the CCP uses suppression, making up facts and lies, followed by violence, to eradicate anybody who disagrees with them. The Zhaoyuan case in Shandong swayed the public to allow the CCP to suppress the Church of Almighty God. It's a major crime of religious persecution. Dad, you're an official with the CCP. You should know better than us about how they really work.
I've lived with the communists for so long. I have no misconceptions about what the CCP is. Despite the way officials try to look grandiose, behind those curtains, there's nothing but bad deeds and business deals. Zhaoyuan case aside, none of these cases tried by those courts have any fairness. Every case is fueled by bribery. There's political motivation behind every case involving religion or ethnic minorities. Now that all the bad deeds of CCP have been exposed by more and more people, I think the truth behind the Zhaoyuan case won't be hidden long.
I didn't expect you all to know so much about the CCP's true intentions. You guys have really grown up. But you're still young. What happened after the incident at Tiananmen, caused by students? Weren't they all quelled? Some of them were killed, wounded, or thrown in prison. Others fled overseas. Who fought the CCP? Even if the Zhaoyuan case was a falsehood, what does it matter? The CCP has created too many false narratives, many of which are known by the people. But who can fix the problem? Who can do anything about the CCP? Do you even know what the CCP believes in?
What is it?
They are revolutionary. What they believe in is violence and lies, and seizing power with violence. They think a lie will become truth if repeated 10,000 times. No matter how many people disbelieve its words, deny them, and disbelieve them, the CCP doesn't care. They'll keep lying all the time. As long as the immediate effects can be achieved, they don't care. When people rebel against them and march in protest, they'll use tanks and machine guns to solve it all. If they need, they'll use atomic bombs and missiles to get what they need. The CCP will resort to anything to maintain power. Soon as that case was announced, they deployed so many armed police units to arrest and suppress Christians at any cost. Who could stop them? Who dared to resist them? When foreigners could see through the CCP's fraud, what could they do? The CCP has ways to counter Western democratic forces. It uses money to fix everything. He who receives a gift sells his liberty. Fewer countries condemn the CCP nowadays. Forces are even afraid to be hostile to them now. No matter what, the CCP is still able to uphold its power. As long as they hold on to power, the believers in God will never be free. God's appearance and work in China will be detested and banned by the CCP. Even if they don't achieve their goal of creating an aesthetic domain, it will never stop arresting or suppressing you. I know. I saw it long ago. That's why I oppose you believing in Almighty God. This is all for your protection. Don't you understand?
Xiaori, come here.
Okay?